Hi, I'm Jada,
And I'm Nick.
and today we're doing a movie review for K-pop Demon Hunters. So let's just get straight into it. First up, let's talk about the characters in this movie, and let's start off with our stars of the show. We got Huntrix, we got Rumi, she's the leader, fantastic vocalist, very strong fighter, has a very nice, loving, and caring relationship with Mira and Zoe. Very clear that she cares about them a lot. Really just wants to seal the Han Moon. Really wants to save the world. Always looking out for others, but she's also, a little sassy, a little funny. I really liked her interactions with Jinu. I thought those two had a lot of good interactions. Like the first time she met him, and she's starstruck. She reaches out for him, and he just wipes off his shoulder, and she's like, "What the heck, dude?" Not fun. But yeah, she's really funny. She also a little emotionally vulnerable, trying to keep this secret of being half demon from Mira and Zoe. She feels very ashamed of it. She thinks she's a mistake. And I feel like giving her this like personal struggle or like this imperfection really fleshed her out as a character, made her feel very, very real. She had really good character development throughout the movie, going from being like completely ashamed of who she was to finally like accepting herself. She wasn't hiding anymore. She could finally be her true self. And I love Rumi. She's a really great gal. What'd you think about her?
She's very much, pretty much like a person who goes through life and they're they have this part of them that they're always ashamed of, even though they were born with it. They didn't have control over. And you can see as the movie goes on, she starts to feel more and more like herself with all her interactions with Genu. But as she's doing that, she doesn't really understand how it affects her relationship with Huntrix.
Mm.
And towards the end, you can only see like the unity of both halves of her, where she understands her demon side and she's accepted by Huntrix,
Mhm.
and they all come together and like stop the big bad.
Mhm. Yes, for sure. Love that character development for her. Moving along, we got Mira. She's very, very headstrong, very blunt, very sassy. I loved her. She kicked absolute butt. She ate, she slayed. She did not come to play. I loved how she was also like really funny, had a lot of funny moments like when she was in like that doctor's office, like intimidating the guy, and she's like, yeah, like that's right, back off. She had a lot of good funny moments. She had good interactions with some of the Saja boys, like Romance and Abby being like, I'll sign first, no, I'll sign first, and they're like breaking this guy's leg even more. Very sassy girl. I loved how she could be intimidating, but she also had like a softer and more gentle side to her personality that she really shared with Zoe and Rumi. Their friendship was really sweet, and just overall, she was always looking out for others, being like, I just want to make sure you're okay. I want to make sure we're all safe. You guys are my family. And just, she was a really great gal, has like kind of like a double sided personality of like, I mean business, but I can also be like kind and caring and nurturing and stuff. What'd you think about Mira?
Mira's definitely like the older sister type. She's
Yes.
constantly looking out for Zoe more often than others, but also Rumi. And so we got this like butting heads where Rumi tries to be the leader and Mira's trying to keep them together, and so they're constantly at odds throughout. We also see Mira's kind of like quirky, funny side with the constant running joke of Abby's abs,
Yes.
and so it's like the popcorn coming out.
Yes.
That's really funny.
That was really good. Moving along, Zoe, life of the party. She's so bubbly and fun and energetic. The youngest one in Huntrix, just really positive girl. Maybe a little naive. She took Rumi to that doctor's office and the guy was like selling like grape soda. A little naive, but her intentions were always pure. Very happy, bubbly little girl. Very, very funny. Her interactions with the Saja boys, like her and Mira seeing them for the first time and like eating the popcorn, or her in the room being like, we gotta take down their dumb, beautiful face. And Mira's like, wake up, girl. She was really funny, but don't let that, sweet bubbly act fool you, because she can go insane. She kicks demon butt. She slays while doing it. She is a fantastic rapper, singer, all the above. I really like her friendship with Rumi and Mira, very close knit group. And she's like, guys, let's have fun together. And I really liked her. She was very much life of the party and a very happy gal. What'd you think about Zoe?
She's the baby of the group, 100%.
Mhm.
She has all the different times where she's trying to help out, but she doesn't really understand how she can help out. And she's also her character development before the like in the intro where they're introducing everyone, you can see her like butting heads, trying to figure out what side she wants to be on. Does she want to use her American influence or the Korean influence? And so you kind of see her more with the American side, but still trying to deal with the Korean side. And also when she's trying to figure out the different songs that she wants to do, she had an entire book of them.
Yes, so many notebooks.
uh, and then her with the turtles, that was kind of cute.
Yes, her little pajamas were very cute. Genu. What a man. What a well-written character. Very good opponent for Huntrix. Had a lot of good interactions with him, especially with Rumi. You know, him poking fun at her pajamas, you know, choo choo. That was really funny. He's a really complex guy too. You know, he's a demon. He's supposed to be this evil, horrible person, but he's really just some guy that just like made a mistake and has just been living with this guilt of leaving his family behind, and he just wants to be free of that. So he's not like really like a bad guy. He just wants to be free of that shame and that guilt. And as the movie progresses, you know, I really like the relationship he formed with Rumi because he was like the first person to really hear her, talk to her. He could relate and really helped her come out of her shell to accept herself. He didn't want her to conceal herself the way Celine, who was taking care of her, always told her to do. He had a really good character arc of being like an opponent and then like forming this like connection with Rumi. And then at the end, you know, he literally sacrificed himself for this girl that he's only known for like maybe like a week or so, a few weeks. Insane. But he was a really well written character. He felt very real, very fleshed out. And I just, 10 out of 10 guy. Genu was great. I loved him. A lot of funny moments, as I was saying, with Rumi being like, she's not even my type. Like, and then them constantly butting heads. But he was just a really cool guy, kind of dual sided personality, being kind of like sly and mysterious with Krima, but then being with Rumi and being a little more like gentle and like emotionally vulnerable with her. And just all around, he was a really well written character. Thoughts on Genu?
Genu, in most media, demons are seen as like completely evil. But then when it came to K-pop Demon Hunters, Genu's character, you could tell he's kind of on the fence on whether or not he wants to truly be evil or if he just wants to be himself. And so at first we see him just being straight evil, but as he starts to interact with Rumi, you can see that not only is he helping her, but he's getting help as well. He helps Rumi come to terms with her being part demon, but as that's happening, he doesn't really listen to himself. He's telling her to accept her as she is, but he doesn't accept himself.
Yes.
But as it goes on, towards the end, he starts to accept himself more and more. He doesn't really want to do Gima's plan. And then that's when he sacrifices himself, redeems himself, and then we see the Huntrix win.
They didn't. Moving on, we got Bobby, Huntrix manager. I love that guy. The most supportive person you will ever meet. He's like, hey guys, those are my girls. He really loves Huntrix, you know, really supports them. He's always doing the choreography while they're performing. He's really into it, really cares about them. He's just a really positive guy, always being like, hey guys, I know things have been hard, but here's some snacks. You know, just always keeping the vibes up. He was a really funny dude. I really like Bobby. I thought he was good. Thoughts on Bobby?
Bobby, yeah, he's really funny. Obviously, the supporting type, the fatherly figure for all of them. And so we kind of see him. He's one of like the girls, kind of, basic. He always does what they do. He's always there for them. He hooks them up with everything they need. And yeah, with the choreo, him dancing to it, he's obviously spent so much time with them. He cares for them deeply.
Yes, for sure. Definitely like a girl dad, essentially. And then we got the big bad, Prima. You know, even though he wasn't down there like doing all the stuff, it was the Saja boys that were really doing his dirty work. He definitely pulled all the strings. Very powerful guy. He did not care. If you failed, you were out of there. He was like, next, who's gonna help me? Who's gonna help me get all these souls so that I can rule the mortal world? just very intimidating guy, very, very manipulative of Genu for sure, because Genu kind of wanted to do his own thing, and the Queen was like, oh, I own you. You're a bad person. And then he even like put that wedge between Genu and Rumi at the Idol Awards, with Rumi being like, how could you do this? How could you sabotage the performance? Now they know what I am. But then, like, I don't know. He was just such a power-hungry monster, very intimidating villain who got clocked and lost in the end. So all that work was truly for nothing. But he was a good antagonist. What were your thoughts?
Gima has obviously had this plan ever since the dawn of whenever the demons first started showing up. And then with the hunters, as they started to show up, he started to get less and less power. But then he managed to convince Genu 400 years before the story takes place to join him. And so those 400 years, he's manipulating Genu into doing his dirty work. And then as the story goes on, he starts to lose control of Genu. And so he's constantly putting the manipulation and pressure on him, like, if you do what I tell you, I'll get rid of these memories. But Genu's been doing his dirty work for 400 years, and he still hasn't done it, so you can tell that Gima doesn't care.
He's not going to keep
He's
that
not
word.
going to keep the promise.
Not a very trustworthy dude, that's for sure.
So, the plot of K-pop Demon Hunters. This was a overall very fun movie. I've seen it multiple times, and normally I don't watch a movie multiple times. If it's a Netflix movie, I just watch it like once and then move on. But this plot was really good. The hunters, they've been around for centuries trying to fight off these demons using their singing voices, like their voices. And so we see at the beginning the different generations of them, and it ends up with the three that we have now, Rumi, Mira, and Zoe. And so we see Huntrix start to they have their first concert, and then they're trying to get the Hanmoon to turn gold, which is what every hunter was hoping for. And so we get to see the concert play, and then they go on the little break, the little hiatus for a few minutes.
Like 3 minutes.
And then they release their new album, Golden, which is sweeping across the country. And they're topping charts. They're having press tours. And during the press tours, Rumi ends up having a little bit of issue with her voice. And it's most likely connected to her demon half. And so we see her and Zoe and Mira, the three of them go to this fake doctor, giving them some fake placebo.
Very shady.
And there they run into the main antagonists of the movie, the Saja Boys. And as the Saja Boys do the little soda pop number, you get to see the conflict between the two start to form. And the whole movie is based around the hunters and the Saja Boys trying to one-up each other, trying to get the people on their side. The hunters are trying to make the Hanmoon golden to completely seal the demons away. And the Saja Boys are trying to destroy the Hanmoon so Gima can come in. And so, as the plot goes on, Rumi and Genu, they have their own little side plot where Rumi's starting to figure out to come to terms with her demon half. And she learns to accept herself. And we see the hunters and Rumi kind of have a wedge form between the two, like the two groups, over the fact that Genu is too close to her. In the end, the hunters, they split up because Genu decides to do Gima's job and reveals that Rumi is part demon. The hunters, they're not supposed to like demons. And you see Gima come to the main world. The Hanmoon's completely destroyed, and the hunters and Bobby are convinced by Gima that they're not worthy of being famous or anything. They're not worthy of being themselves. And that's when Rumi comes to term with the fact that she's part demon, she's part human, she can make the best of both. And she ends up showing up to the Idol Awards where the Saja Boys are trying to finish Gima's plan. And that's when the three hunters come together. They finally reconcile. They make the Hanmoon rainbow this time. and Gimon's defeated. So the Soldier Boys are defeated. Everything comes together. They win.
Yes. I love the plot of this movie. It was so good. You get these trio of these three girls, they're pop stars, they're K-pop idols with these beautiful singing voices, but they're also these glamorous and amazing, just like kick butt demon hunters. Like they are so cool. They want to create the Golden Moon because they want to protect the world, and they're getting really close. And then Grima is he's down there and he's like, I want to rule the mortal world. What can I do? And Junie's like, what about a demon boy band? We're gonna steal the fans. Like, so Grima's like, yeah, go up there and do that. So you get this nice like battle of the bands conflict between Huntrix and the Soldier Boys. It was I really like their rivalry with each other. A lot of good like butting head moments and like going on the game show, trying to sneak in there so they can take him out. And Junu's like, come play games with us, and like they're butting heads and stuff. It's just really good, really good, fun little plot. You also get, the plot of Rumi, struggling with her demon half and trying to figure out, like, I want to get rid of it. I hate myself. I don't want to be like this. And then just watching her journey throughout the movie as she finally learns to accept herself because of the other little plot that's going on with Ginu, where they're kind of forming, like, a little relationship, romance, whatever you want to call it, where they're both helping each other with Rumi learning to accept herself, to not hide herself anymore, and Ginu learning like he can leave the past in the past. He's not defined by a mistake he made in the past. Like he can move forward and create a new future for himself. And I really thought the progression of this movie was really good. It was never too fast, it wasn't too slow. I certainly was never bored. A lot of funny moments. This movie was hysterical with all the little funny moments that were in there. There were a lot of, serious moments. The stakes were usually pretty high in a lot of scenes. A lot of emotional moments between, Huntrix just talking things out, and then Rumi and Ginu having like their little exchange. And then ending of the movie wrapped it up in a neat little bow because, the three girls, they had just had this falling out. And all this stuff had happened throughout the whole film, and Rumi's like, you know what, I'm finally me. I accept myself. And then Zoe and Mira are like, yep, let's come together, let's sing. We're gonna seal the Han Moon, we're gonna do it. And then Ginu does one final good deed, literally sacrifices himself for Rumi. You know, she gave him his soul back. I was very, very sad to see him go, but he went out on a high note doing a good thing. And overall, this plot was so much fun. I really loved it. I've seen this movie so many times. It's so rewatchable. People need to watch it more. But yeah, it was a really good story. All right, now let's talk about the music in this film, because the music was absolutely phenomenal. There were absolutely no misses in this entire film. Music was great. Let's start off with our opening number, How It's Done. This is our introduction to Huntrix, and it was such a fantastic start to the film. I feel like the song did a really good job of showcasing each girl's like unique personality, with Rumi being like, the leader, and Mira being like the headstrong and like kind of blunt one, just like take no prisoners, beating up everybody. Zoe being like bubbly and fun, but still like kicking butt. The instrumental for that was so good. They were rapping like insane. The spectacle of them jumping out of their broken airplane or like eating their ramen right before they go skydiving, absolutely incredible. They land on the stage, they're still singing, they're dancing while they're literally eliminating demons. But yeah, just like the lyrics in the song were so good, the musicality, the way it flowed. It was such like an exciting song. Like it was such a good high note to start the movie. Like that's the first song you hear and you're like, if this song is this good, I can't wait for the other songs in this movie. How It's Done, really good song. What'd you think about it?
It's really good. The background track matches perfectly. Like you see a part where Mira's hitting a demon with a coffee pot, like a pot of hot water, and it matches up with like a hitting of it.
What I do. Yeah, like the bam, bam, bam.
And then as they're like, jump out of the plane, you can hear like the background track starting to pick up the pace, and then right before it happens, beat drop, and then it speeds up as they're jumping out of the plane. Like it pumps your adrenaline. Like you're in the moment with them.
Yes, jumping out of the plane. And then after How It's Done, we get a completely different flow of music. We get Ginu's Lament. It's very short and sweet. This is like our little introduction to Genu is in like his little black outfit and he's playing like his stringed instrument and he's like low key roasting Grima. Grima is like, you used to be so powerful and now you're not. What are you gonna do? It's very short, it's very sweet, but it's really nice. It's very calming and gentle. Like I feel at peace when I listen to this and his vocals. So ethereal, so heavenly. Like just like I'm listening to it and I'm like, it's like he's here. It's a really short song, but it's really good. It's a nice like it's a very different change of pace from like the first song you just heard. It's very, very chill. What did you think about it?
Yeah, it's a complete 180. You get this fast-paced how it's done, and then immediately, like a little bit afterwards, you get the introduction of Genu and Gima with Genu's lament, and you can clearly tell that he's obviously a rebel against Gima.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to see more of a defiant side of him. He's teasing him, he's making fun of him,
Mm-hmm.
even though we literally just seen Gima like kill one of the demons
Yes,
that failed.
take her out.
And so we're like, is he going to do anything against him, or ends up no, it doesn't happen. But it also introduces the Saja boys a little bit afterwards too, and so it's a nice wheel in to the plot.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Ginu's Lament. We get Golden. This is the one that everybody knows. Everybody loves this one. The fans loved it. The people in the real world, we love it. I thought it was a really good song. In my opinion, I think it's maybe like slightly overhyped. Like I still think it's good. It's just not my favorite one on the track. And also, I think the line distribution in this song is absolutely horrific. I do not think they should label the song as by Huntrix. It should be labeled as by Rumi featuring Mira and Zoe because Mira and Zoe get to sing what, like maybe 10 seconds tops each, and then Rumi's literally just singing most of the song. I think the line distribution could have been a little better. I feel like each girl should have a decent amount to sing, but this is also like a common problem in K-pop songs is line distribution. Regardless of that though, it's a really fun, like upbeat, preppy song. It's very much sounds like a very stereotypical K-pop song. It just makes you, it's a really like feel good song. Like we're golden, we're here, we're together, our future's so bright, and just like it's one of those songs that like I feel like everybody can enjoy. It just kind of unites the whole world, like, and just everyone likes it. So I thought it was a pretty good song. What'd you think about Golden?
Golden, it was a lot of the hunters are like, may have a hard life, you may have some struggles in life, but you can overcome it. The day is golden.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very much a pump up song to try to get people to understand that they're perfect the way they are. They're okay with struggles. Everyone has struggles. And then you also with the line distribution, yeah, it was kind of off.
It's very bad.
But it was also because wasn't Rumi the one that wrote it, or
They all worked on it.
they all kind of
Usually.
worked on
It's
it.
like a collaborative effort.
But Rumi, obviously, she's trying to put herself up front with this one.
I mean, she is the lead vocalist, but give everyone a chance to sing on the track. But you liked it?
Yeah, it was good.
It was a good one. All right, after Golden, we get the Soda Boys introduction song. We get Soda Pop. It was so good. If I was in the K-pop Demon Hunter universe, my soul would already be gone. It's such a fun, upbeat, like bubbly song. The choreography is so fun. I'm always like bumping my shoulders. It's so catchy. Like they said, I can't stop listening to it. It's so good. Like you listen to this and like you're instantly put in a better mood. Like you're so happy. You're like, the world is sunshine and rainbows, and I feel so happy. You know, you're my little soda pop. Like we're having so much fun. It's a very like mainstream song against another one of those songs I feel like most people can enjoy. And you know, the vocals were really good, having that rapping section in the middle with Baby Saja. It was such a nice, well-rounded song. And then the end where like the tempo like kind of shifts again and kind of like speeds up. It's just a really good song. I really like Soda Pop. What'd you think about it?
When I first watched it, I didn't really much like it. It kind of is like a different style to what the hunters were doing, and so I was trying to get used to that. But the more I've watched the movie, the more I started to get closer to liking it. What I do like about it was like, as you said, towards the end, the tempo speeds up, but also a key change happens. And so I have a music background, so like anytime I hear a key change, like key change, oh my God, that's so cool. And so it's like I like a bunch of like the music and like this, like the background stuff, very upbeat. They're trying to get the people on their side.
Yes, very, very preppy and fun. After Soda Pop, we get Free. amazing song. You get this cute little duet between Rumi and Jinu, and it's them singing about how they've helped each other. Rumi's like, here with you, I can finally breathe. I feel better about myself. Like, my voice was in trouble, but now it's healed. I feel like I don't have to hide as much anymore. I feel like I can finally accept my other half, my demon half. And then Jinu's like, for years I've just been like living with this shame and this guilt. Like, I feel like a horrible person, but with you, I feel like I can leave that in the past. I can make a new name for myself, a better future. And you get this really sweet duet of them like singing with each other. The vocals, once again, off the charts. Their vocals blend so beautifully with each other. I love the part, especially when like Rumi's hitting those high notes and they start levitating. Quite frankly, when I listen to it, I feel like I'm ascending as well. Like, I feel like I'm floating out of my chair. It's so good. It's like a very much different sound than some of the other songs, because all the other songs are pretty like upbeat, fun, preppy, or like intense or something, but this one's more of like a gentle, calming, relaxed, like you feel like you're ascending kind of song. And it was a really good song, it was a really cute song, and it was like their little moment together, and I thought it was really good. What'd you think about Free?
Free, yeah, it's every musical I feel like has to have a ballad, which is what Free ends up being.
Mhm.
And so you got to see the warring sides in both of them, in both Rumi and Genu, kind of like come together and like they find out that they want to be who they want to be. They want to choose themselves. And so we get to see also like the blossoming romance between the two with this song as well. As they're levitating, the high notes. I'm surprised they managed to, like when I listened to that first, I'm like, they got high notes,
Oh,
like really high notes.
Rumi was hitting those notes for sure.
Even Genu was hitting some notes.
Oh, yeah.
And I was surprised with this. It was really good.
All right, next song. We're good. The Magic of Cutting is great. All right, after Free, you get Takedown, which is my personal favorite song in the whole film. This is Huntrix. We're gonna roast those Saja boys into the ground. They will be nothing. They will only love us, and like it's so good. The choreography they got going on, the backing like instrumental track, the lyrics, the roasts they were dishing out. I see your real face, and it's ugly as sin. They ate with that. Like, that was written in golden ink, quite frankly. Golden. It was so good. It's been on repeat for me. If it's not on my Spotify Wrapped, I will be shocked. It's just a really good song. And the line distribution, pretty good. Each girl gets to sing. Like, you get to hear them. And it's just, like, the way it went. And then, like, that kind of, like, tempo shift in the middle where it kind of, like, slows down where they're singing before immediately ramping back up at the end where they're like almost feels like they're screaming into the microphone being like, we're gonna cut you up, we're gonna lose control. It was just like, it was a really good song. I really like Takedown. I think it's really good. What'd you think about it?
Takedown is one of the songs in this movie that I didn't listen to much. I listened to a bunch of the other songs a little bit more than this, but I feel like when it comes to the movie, they implemented Takedown as more of a they're trying to get at these demons. They're trying to convince people that demons are bad. Like, we know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But also, we get to see Rumi, as she's also writing this, kind of like making disses towards her demon side.
Yeah, she feels like it's an attack on her
Yeah.
as well.
And so, like, you see, like, the warring side on her about should we include this? Should we not do this one?
Mm-hmm.
And at the Idol Awards, we also get to see this song performed, and that's when
Directed at her.
yeah, directed at her. We see the reveal, and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, in context with the movie, it's kind of like, ooh, but like outside the movie, it's just a banger. It's a good song. All right, after Takedown, we get Your Idol. Once again, my soul would have been stolen. See, when you think about demons, like this is the kind of song you would imagine them to sing, not soda pop where they're like in pink and purple and having a fun time. No, this is the song. They're in black. The background's all red. They have like their patterns are showing like those glaring like orange yellowish eyes with like kind of like a snake-like pupil. It was so good. The once again vocals heavenly. I was certainly ascending with them, quite frankly. Just like the progression of the song of with like the kind of like slower singing and then like the higher notes shifting into like that more like intense beat, and then you get the break of Baby Saja with like his big rap part in the middle, offers a good shift, and then towards the end of the song we're like the music sounds more grand as they start literally levitating in the air. It feels very much like you're being hypnotized, like, oh my god, like you're being persuaded by their vocals, like you can feel your soul being stolen, quite frankly. But it was such a good song. It was the Soulja Boy's final song, and they definitely went out on a high note. I really liked Your Idol. What did you think about it?
Your idol, in certain like in the parts where the chorus is happening, like each verse, it's up and down with me with certain parts. I like the instrumental background. I liked the chorus of it. And you also most people would like who know music when they start singing like in Latin at the beginning, you're like something bad's about to happen.
Oh yeah.
And then they show up with their demon forms, and you're like, yeah, something bad's about to happen. Everyone's slowly marching towards Gima as he shows up, and you're like, these people are probably gonna die here.
Yeah.
And they're egging them on, they're mind controlling them, hypnotizing them, trying to entice them to come over to the dark side. And they are succeeding, and like you can tell that people are actually liking the song in the movie. I thought it was pretty good.
Yes, it's another one that within the context of the movie, you're like, what's happening? But like when you're listening to it, you're like, what is that melody I'm hearing? It's so good. But then, Your Idol happens, and then Hundred comes in, and they're like, hang on, we gotta perform our song, what it sounds like. It is the perfect ending number, super, like, within the context of the movie. Like, they just had this falling out. Rumi's been, like, depressed for, like, half the movie. But now she's like, you know what? I've broken into a million pieces. I can't go back. I'm here now. I accept myself. I'm finally who I am. And then Mira and Zoe are like, you know what? We're gonna come together. We're back together again. You know what? All that matters is that we love and care about each other regardless of who we are, where we come from. We're gonna unite these people. We are going to seal the Han Moon, make it golden, and quite frankly, this is what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like when we are saving the world. The vocals were really good, and then you get like the pause in the music where it's just like the instrumental happening where Genu does his ultimate sacrifice, and then we're right back into like the preppy upbeat, like the tempo kind of raises a little bit as they start levitating with all the rainbows going around them, and then at the end like harmonizing at the end, being like, this is what it sounds like, and you have the whole crowd also chanting and singing with them, and it was the perfect ending song. It was really good. What did you think about it?
Yeah, it's a very perfect ending song. You get to see as they're making Takedown, they were trying to figure out how are we going to get the people to all be with us and not the demons. How are we going to unite the people? And they literally struggle with making a song that fits. And so when it comes to this, they're like, the song we couldn't write, this is what it sounds like. And as you said, like the harmonizing throughout the song, I like hearing like different harmonies. Every time I hear it, even other music, I'm like, ooh, harmonies, yes. And they did it a lot in this, so like this is one of my favorite songs in the movie. I think it might be my favorite song of the movie. And the tempo fluctuations based on what's happening. It slows down for Jinu's sacrifice. It picks up when they're defeating Gima. And so we got to see this technical, like lyrical and technical combination of songs come together into this one song.
Yes, and then there's just one more little song I would like to mention, and that is the song that plays during the credits. It is Takedown, but it is the version sang by the K-pop group Twice. I actually heard this version of the song before I saw the movie because I'm a K-pop fan and I like Twice. And it was this version of the song that I was like, maybe I should check out that movie. Maybe I should give it a watch. It's the same, it's just Takedown, but you have 3 members from Twice singing it, and it's very clear they had a lot of fun with this one. You could really feel like the attitude coming through on like the way they were saying all the words, all the passion they were putting into it. And then like even in the credits, you see the behind the scenes of them in the recording booth, recording together, just having a really fun time singing this song. And I thought the Twice version of Takedown was just a really good song. All the music in this movie was fantastic. Shout out to all the singers who worked on this and all the musicians that helped this music happen, because the music was amazing.
All right, so now we're on to the animation, which is really good. Like the newer animation that a lot of studios seem to be doing is like this little choppy stop motion aspect in some scene, in like the action scenes, but then also like the smooth in like any other scene that's happening. Spider-Verse movies do this. The new Puss in Boots movie did this, and now we get K-pop Demon Hunters, which is made by the same animation studio that works on the Spider-Verse movies.
Mhm.
And so we get to see the combination of all the newer animation, also with like a bit of the older 3D animation that was in previous movies beforehand. And so you get to see this combination of new and old come together, and I think it's really good animation.
Yes, I think the animation was absolutely off the charts. I loved how vibrant everything was. The colors were absolutely stunning. And also the amount of detail that they were able to achieve. I think particularly like throughout the whole movie, like especially in how it's done, you can see the girls, you can see their individual makeup, you can see the eyeliner, you can see the little gems they have, and like their blush and everything. The way everyone's hair moved, especially like Rumi's super long braid. I mean, the hair physics were off the charts, looked really good. The way each character moved, they were so fluid and smooth, especially during like all the fighting scenes, like with all the flips and spins they were doing and like slashing their weapons at the demons. It was really cool. Every character was so expressive. I think to the beginning when Huntrix is munching down on those snacks and like they have like these anime eyes popping out and like these super big facial expressions. And I really liked how expressive each character was because it made the movie so much more fun. It felt very cartoony, and obviously it's an animated movie, but they somehow were able to make it feel like anime-like, and it had, like you said, a very similar style to Spider-Verse because it's literally the same people who animated this movie. The like different effects on like the things they were animating, like I really liked the glow on their weapons and the way the Hanmoon looked, especially at the end with like all the rainbow colors coming together. And then like the visual gags of like the girls having like popcorn coming out of their eyes, or like the big hearts being thrown at the crowd during soda pop was really good. And just overall, like it was such good animation. The character designs really popped with this animation. I liked how unique every character looked. Like the Saja boys looked very unified, but they were each different. And then Huntrix, a unified group, but like the different hair colors, the different coloring for their outfits, just everything looked amazing. The animation was absolutely peak in this movie. It was really good.
Another thing I wanted to add on to the animation that I
Mhm.
just remembered
Mhm.
was that the accuracy that they did with like the Korean mythology, with like the demons based on the oni that they in the mythology, and then
Yes.
each of the historical designs of like the outfits, like the original hunters, you get to see like the old like robes and stuff that they wore, and as time went on, you can see like the different decades of American and Western influence on Korea, with like the ladies in like the 50s bobs,
Mhm.
and then later on we get to see the 70s, and then we get to see Rumi's mom and Celine, or was it her name Celine?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Celine.
we see the Star Sisters,
The Sunlight
Sunlight Sisters,
Sisters.
the Sunlight Sisters. And you can see their 90s designs, and so you're like, oh, the different, you can see when each progression happens
The
with
different
generations.
Yeah, the different eras. They did a really good job like of incorporating the culture with like the different foods, and then like the girls' makeup having like that Asian like Duyan style of makeup with like the gems and like their agyosal being very like emphasized, and like the way their hair was done, like the different pins in Rumi's braids, and like even the like the kinds of food they were eating, like the kimbap and the ramen and stuff. They did their research for sure, and everything just came together perfectly. Animation, amazing. They did a great job. All right, now let's talk about the voice acting in this movie, because of course that is a very important part of an animated movie. First off, you have Arden Choi, or Cho. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I apologize in advance. She was Rumi's voice actress, and she did an absolute phenomenal job. I could really feel the love and passion she put into this performance. Did a really good job of like portraying that internal conflict she was having of like, I want to help protect the world and I want to be as open and honest with Mira and Zoe as I can, but I'm also keeping the secret from them and I feel very ashamed of who I am. Like I feel like I'm a mistake. And she really just like put that passion, put that emotion into that performance and did a really good job of portraying how Rumi was feeling in every single scene. All around, I think she did a really good job. You could really feel she really just like the love and passion. She was just Rumi. She did a phenomenal job. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought that she did extremely well. Like every voice actor did extremely well in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Each of them brought their own little personality to it.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the singers that came in to sing everyone, even they had their own personality that even sometimes they fit with the voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
And so you see like this blending between two different people who somehow managed to give the same tone for the same character.
Mm-hmm. Yes, despite it being two different, having a singing actor and then having a voice actor. And then we have Mei Han as Mira, and she also did a phenomenal job, did a really good job at portraying Mira's like sassy, blunt, kind of short fused attitude, but also did a great job at portraying her like more gentle, soft, and emotionally vulnerable side. You know, get you a girl that can do both, because her like the range she was able to pull off with Mira was good, as like just like showing off the different emotions, and it really made Mira feel real. I think she did a really good job.
Yeah, with Mira, you can clearly see her uh, tempered side, but you also get to see her loving side. Obviously the fuse of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Like anything could possibly set her off, but she's also headstrong with that. She
Mm-hmm.
can control herself, and she does it to protect the people she cares about.
Mm-hmm.
And then, which leads into the caring side. She's always there for anyone who needs it, and you get to see her nurturing, caring, older sibling side. Even though she's not the oldest, I think Rumi is.
Maybe.
Uh,
She's the tallest for
yeah,
sure.
she's definitely the tallest. But she's always like the caring one,
Mm-hmm.
and you can tell with the voice actress, she gives that off.
Yes, for sure. Then we have Ji Yun Hu as Zoe, did a really good job portraying that little bubbly, exciting, just happy-go-lucky attitude that Zoe had. Also showing off like her more intense side as well, with like some of the moments she had throughout the movie, being like, I got all these notebooks, I have all these roasts ready to go. Like when they're all like screaming together, being like, yeah, and they're all just like super excited, you know, take down the Sajid boys. She did a really good job. She really was just Zoe. And like even looking at the voice actors, they look like their characters. Like they look like Huntrix. But yes, Zoe's VA did a phenomenal job. A lot of love, a lot of care into this performance, and she did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, with Zoe, she did amazing. You could tell that she's going off of this, like, she's obviously giving off the younger sibling energy.
Yes.
And she plays into that with she comes up with like the roast. She's like, I have ideas. And she's like, actually 57.
Yeah.
Uh, and then she's like, but it's totally legit. You could
Mm-hmm.
tell that she doesn't really understand like how to be serious in some situations. She doesn't read the room really well, but she also doesn't understand Korean. She comes from
She's
America,
from America. Yeah, she's
and so
American.
she's trying to fit in with the Korean standards, and so you get to see that a little bit with how she comes off with her lines delivery.
Yes, and then being kind of like naive and not understanding, you know, like the scams of like the doctor's office, being like, guys, this is so legit. She did a really good job of portraying that. All right, then we have Jinu's voice actor. He did amazing. He did a really good job of portraying Jinu's like kind of like dual-sided personality of being more like sly and serious with Grima, but then being more like funny and sarcastic and then emotionally vulnerable as well with Rumi. He did a really good job of portraying the wide range of emotions that Jinu had, and I just thought he really did a great job of portraying the character, and like Jinu felt very real for me. What do you think about him?
Yeah, even though Jinu's been a demon for so long, you can still kind of feel like he's human. Like he
Yes.
jokes around with
Mm-hmm.
Rumi's pajama pants, the choo choo.
Yes.
And then as they're in like the bathhouse and Rumi's chasing after him, you could see like he's kind of like laughing as he's running.
He slips. It's really good. Also watching him like kind of like struggle with the modern times, being like, you picked an interesting place for a date, and it says save the date, and he's like, you're so old. It was really funny trying to watch him kind of like adjust to the modern times, and his voice actor definitely did a good job of portraying that. Ken Jeong as Bobby. I love this guy. He did a great job. As soon as he started speaking in the movie, I was like, I know that voice anywhere. That's Ken Jeong. He does a phenomenal job with all his acting and voice acting work. Did a really good job of capturing Bobby's like girl dad kind of nature, how much he cared for Huntrix, and you know, just trying to be like that ball of positivity and being like, hey guys, let's raise the vibes, let's have fun. And I thought Ken Jeong did a really good job in this movie. What'd you think?
Yeah, Ken Jeong managed to play off the very fatherly energy that he's giving off, and he's always like, "I love my girls," and so he's always there for them. He does anything for them. You can tell with Ken Jeong's voice acting, he's experienced with this, and so he's probably like I feel like the most experienced voice actor
Yes.
of all of them, and so you get to see him got to play into different role than he's normally allowed. Like most of the time, if he's voice acting, he's the comedic relief, but this time he's more of like the loving fatherly type.
Yes, for sure. And then we have Lee Byun-han. Once again, apologies. That's Grima's voice actor. He's also the front man in Squid Game. He did a really good job. Definitely captured how intimidating and manipulative Grima was. That lower register, like that really deep voice. Like that is how you expect a demon to sound. Very demonic and intimidating, but also like having a few little funny moments, like when Grima was singing Soda Pop and he's like, that is catchy. You know, your plan's working. You're doing a good job. But he did a really good job of capturing how like evil and intimidating Grima really was, and I thought he did a really good job. What do you think?
Yeah, you could even though he's a demon, he tries to play off as if he doesn't have emotions, but you can tell that this voice actor did put emotion into this, especially in what it sounds like. He's getting desperate.
The anger.
He's the anger. He's kind of like, no, stop! You can't beat me. No, you can the fear in him. And so he's able to give even like the purest demon emotion, which is kind of cool.
Yes, every voice actor in this entire movie did a phenomenal job.
Final rating, I feel like it's really good. The animation, voice acting, the character design, everything, the singing, the voices, the music, background, everything. Very rewatchable. I'd say 9 out of 10 for this one.
Right. Yeah, for me, as someone who is a K-pop fan and loves K-pop music and also just a big fan of animated movies in general, I thought this movie was absolutely fantastic. Had a really good plot, had fantastic visuals, good comedy, good story, good serious moments, absolutely fantastic music. It was so good. It's a movie that like it stuck the landing. And for me, I personally would rate it a 10 out of 10. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. This movie was truly golden. Well, thanks for watching our movie review of K-Pop Demon Hunters. Make sure to stay on the lookout for more content from ENTV, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!